Hello, sketchbook heroes and sketchbook warriors. Here we are. We're going to do some warm-ups. We're going to draw some forms, and then we're going to, I don't know, we're going to draw some intermediate to more advanced drawings because that's it. So the first thing is, what are the forms? Let's turn this around. There we go. All right, we're good. All right, so there's five basic forms, and you want to start off with shapes. So when you're first learning to draw, you want to learn to draw shapes. So you practice your circles and your squares, especially those circles and squares. And then you got triangles or angles. All right, those are the basic shapes. And then you can use those shapes to make other shapes like ovals. It's just getting a circle, stretching it out. A square becomes a block, and so on and so forth. And you can change the angles and do all kinds of stuff. Woo! Let's see what we're talking about here. And this is just practice. It's good to practice. Practice drawing triangles inside triangles, circles inside circles, or just practice drawing circles, even doodling. This is good practice, good warm up too, 5 minutes. We'll have the warrior warm ups. They're coming. They're coming. I've been promising for a year, but I think with our hangouts, I'll be forced to do them. So yeah, we'll be doing some warm-ups and get the warm-ups out there. And I do have a thumbnail that I created for that. So that's cool. All right, so those are the shapes. The next level is forms. So you can take one form and just practice drawing it. For example, what are they? First is the sphere. That's the easiest to draw, the hardest to shade because it's a circle and it's a ball, it's a sphere. And then just there's a lot of parts to it. There's a highlight, there's a core shadow, and there's all kinds of stuff that makes it a little more moon, depending where the light is, a reflected light. Then you got a shadow, depending on the light source. There's a lot to it, but this drawing is simple. You're welcome. All right, and then we've got the next one is the cube. The cube, well, we're going to draw a few of those right now, draw some cubes, but it's all about the angles. And I see this letter Y right in here. We start off with the Y, and then there's something called perspective, but we won't get into that. But the other lines, once you have the Y, the other ones are kind of like parallel, almost parallel, so which means same direction. So we have this vertical line straight up and down. Then you have this other line straight up and down, and then this other line. So the Y becomes an M. And yeah, I know I've seen the two squares and that you connect the corners, but this is a little bit better because you can move the Y around, and I'll show you in a second. Um, and then we've got the other angles that are parallel to these. So we have this angle has its brothers. This angle here has its brothers or sisters right here. So we have this angle here. We bring that down all the way down. And beginner drawing people always kind of, not always, but most of the time, many times, flatten the bottom. The bottom needs to also have that angle here. So we're copying that angle from our Y right in there. And then we're bringing that over here, that same angle back up in here where that, this corner. In this corner for the letter M, back that way. And then it kind of looks like the letter E. Now we're going to get this from our letter Y, our first letter Y, this angle here, and we're going to bring it back over here. There it is. And then that same angle here. Now we do get perspective. Perspective is just that these angles out here get a little bit smaller, and that has to do with space. We talked about space in our beginner class. Things that are further away get smaller. Same thing happens here. As things get further back, they get smaller, so it goes out into perspective. And those are some rules and stuff. And then the shading. You would shade one side and shade the other. But I wouldn't worry about perspective yet until you get to it. You want to worry about angles first. Its perspective is just a little more. And then shading. Shading goes after. You want to practice drawing even your forms before you get into shading. All right, we can talk about shading another day. Then we've got pyramid. We got a pyramid. So pyramid is basically actually kind of like a cube. The bottom, depending on the bottom, it's just the two angles. And they're very similar. You have a four-sided pyramid, and what is the other? I'd have to count. A square bottom. Square bottom would be one, and then you'd have four. That would be five-sided pyramid, which is kind of like the ones in Egypt. Then you have a three-sided, one, two, three, four, four-sided pyramid with a triangle bottom. And they're kind of drawn the same. We won't get into the technicalities of the differences, but you have these angles here, this angle here, angle there. And that's yeah, it's all about the angles. We're not going to worry about the pyramids too much. Although I saw some really nice pyramids last month in Mexico. They're temples, as I was corrected. Yeah, temples, pyramids, amazing. All right, there's and then depending on the shadows and all that stuff, there's another one. So practice drawing these, especially the cube. And I'll tell you why the cube. We're gonna practice drawing the cube in different angles, just maybe two or three. There we go. What's the other form? Oh, this is okay. So now a circle in space is a circle, but when you turn it, let me see. Let's get one of our paint things here. Our circle, you're looking at it straight, it becomes a circle, but as it tilts, it becomes an oval. It becomes an oval, and you got to practice drawing those ovals because they are everywhere. In this mug of tea that I have here, it's this top is a circle, but as it turns, it becomes an oval. So if that oval is important for our cylinder shape and our cone, seeing it's just practice. See how I can just do it really quick because you've got to practice drawing these things. And they do also have axis lines. We've talked about axis lines. And then, so this form is called a cylinder, the master cylinder. I've been seeing a lot of Felix the Cat. I was at an art show. They had a huge Felix the Cat in a corner. I should show a picture of it. And then, yeah, and then Felix the Cat came up again somewhere else. Whenever he gets into a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Not that picture. Let me see. I'll show it right now. But yeah, that's a cylinder. Cylinder, master cylinder. Yeah, because it wasn't too long ago. Oh, yeah, here it is. Wow, that was quick. Yeah, I was at this art show. My eyes are closed, but they open for a second. This texture is really cool. Actually, that was a painting. You can see how big that painting is. That's why that's why I'm there, so you can see the scale of it. Well, actually, it's not. Oh, there he is. There's Felix. Look how big he is. You can see there how big he is. Oh, that's it. He's actually the whole corner of that room. Anyways, all right. So, master cylinder from the Felix the Cat, little connection flashback there. So sides are parallel unless we have perspective again. And then the bottom, a lot of people straighten this out. No, it just echoes this part here. So this part here gets echoed down here, down here. And if this isn't old news to you, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's why the warm-ups are going to be really because once I go through this and once I get my warm-ups up, I don't have to worry about this anymore. We just get into practice and using this things and making this into, if we wanted to make this into, I don't know, whatever we wanted to. It could be a chair, it could be all kinds of stuff. The only limitation is your imagination. And this is actually the first step into drawing from your imagination and the lights and the shadows and how it, affects these forms. All right, so that's that. And depending on where the light source is, we won't talk about shadows. Trying to keep it simple. And then the next one is we still use a cylinder. Now the cylinder could be this oval shape. I'm sorry, like the cylinder, this oval shape. And then we just find you can find the center, and you can actually turn it around and stuff. But bring it comes down to a point. Anywhere on this point, I can make it depending on how sharp or pointy I want this cone to be. That's the other one, the cone. Oh, this could be in a mug. Yeah, my mug. I kind of gave it a thought of making it into a mug. The little handle on it with a little bit of overlapping. We'll practice some cubes and then we'll get going onto our drawing. And then there's a thickness here. You draw another oval, probably get a little bit thinner over there. Another oval inside that oval, concentric ovals. There's a thickness to that mug. And if I wanted to kind of copy that top in here so you can see the liquid inside. Look, 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 look. And then maybe the little tea bag coming out at an angle. See, there we go, giving clues to what it is. Now it's a mug. You see, and that's what you got to practice doing. Just seeing the forms and drawing them. Yeah, there's our cone. It's flat. or an ice cream cone. All right. There's the five basic forms. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. All right. Now let's draw some cubes in space. Let's do that. Wow. We can use perspective. That would actually would help. Um, but turning them around, I'll show you how to turn them around. We'll draw three or so. Um, okay. So you probably, let's see. Let's make this straight here and then bring this back. See, here's our top of our Y. This is going to be up, down. Notice this one's flat, straight, and then this one comes up there. And that's different from that one. And it's going to look different. So here it's going to be straight. This side's almost facing us. And this is almost like that square inside the square. But we could have brought it up a little bit as well. Yeah. Well, let me just go ahead and do that and show you the square inside the square. This is basically the square inside the square drawing. Okay, so here's that one. So here's the Y. Here's the M. Forgot to do the M. The M, I already did the bottom line. But if you could see the M in there, the M and M, and then the bottom line, the top line, and then this back line is going to be straight as well. It's all about the angles. That's why I talk about wrap to draw. If you're having trouble with angles, that's okay. That's the challenge. That's why I said, if you're having trouble with ratios and making your drawings look like Ozempic, somebody said, that's okay. That's the challenge. You're saying, okay, I'm gonna just worry about ratios, the height and the width, the height and the width ratios, and then you get a good handle of it. You don't have to think about it. It just becomes automatic. And then you look at the angles, all right? Look at the angles, focus on the angles, then you get it. See that angle going up that way, and then this angle. There's, with perspective, it gets a little bit thinner as it goes back. And that's the drawback with the other way of drawing. I can draw the little angles as it goes back. But there's my cube, second cube. Let me just show you how, since I mentioned it already a couple of times, you draw one square. And actually, you know what? If you wanted to draw it in perspective, you would draw the second square a little bit smaller because it is the back side, right? It's a little bit smaller. So now you just connect these corners, connect the corners, and then it's like an ice cube. Let's shade the front so it kind of see what's happening there. So I just used two squares. And this is kind of interesting because it does have perspective, probably better than that other one we just drew. Let's see, there we go. Just shade it, but you see that other line underneath. Oh, it could be a box here looking inside it. It could be a cube where it's transparent a little bit. There it is. You can see that back side. I kind of made the front dark so you can make it differentiate. Kind of differentiate. See the difference? All right, so yeah, but we can change this angle here. And let's change the angle a little bit. Actually, let's go really wild here. And then even change this angle. Yeah, let's change that angle. Because then you want to learn how to turn the cube in space. Turn the cube in space because sometimes, it's not always the same direction. So let's draw the M. This is our center, Y. You can see the Y. I'm already getting off on the other sides. And here's the M. You can see these angles here now. We have the Y angles and then the M angles, which is the verticals, which is not vertical. And then you have, well, we already have this angle here. I already have that angle. So that's there, that's there, that's there. And then getting them to line up, that's a little bit of a challenge. It takes a little bit of practice. And what I mean by that is this next line here, this one, and almost flat, straight, here, going like that, that. And then, it's tilted. It's all about the angles. You need to change the angles, straighten them out a little bit. Do that, straighten them out, and then shade them. This is good practice for shading. One side's going to be a little bit darker, and then the other side's going to be even darker. And it's a good practice for shading. Always good practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the more you'll progress. The better you get at moving these cubes around. Oh, yeah, let's do this one. Did I do this one? Oh, yeah, that's kind of like that other Y. One side's going to be really thin. Yeah, if I get this line up a lot, it'll become really thin, and that happens. Which is really wild if you observe cubes. There's six sides. You know, if you ever look at a dice, yeah, it has six sides. Yeah, you have the one and the six on the other side, and they actually add up to seven. Each side adds up to seven. So if you, it's kind of interesting. You can grab two dice and then turn them around. Adds up to seven. They think there's like a magic trick. So if there are threes on this side, what's on the other side? Well, three, seven minus three, which is four, right? Yeah. The four is on the opposite side. And then here we would have, I don't know, five. Then the opposite on the five would be the two. There's the, so there's six sides, but you can only see three at the most at one time. If you're looking at it straight, you get the orthographic view, which is just a square, which is kind of good. If you're learning to draw, you can turn things to the easy side. Like here, this turns to a circle. Sometimes you want to turn it to the easy side if you're trying to draw something at first, right? I gotta change that view, camera view. Um, and then I can draw this just by looking at it. And it would be easier to draw that up on the screen, that cup this way. This is the orthographic view, looking at it straight. And I can see how wide it is, the height compared to the width. Now, if it slowly turns, then that becomes an oval, and that cup or that little pink cup becomes a little more like that, right in there. All right, enough drawing forms. Good practice, good warm up. Let's see what we're going to draw. Let's go to our screen. Bum, bum, bum. All right, I see regulars in here. Awesome. I can take suggestions, but I think we have 30 people. That's awesome. People that have turned in something for our class tonight. All right, here we go. Screen. Which screen are we going to show? Screen two. There we go. Share. There it is. Oh, my thing is still up. Let's escape that. Let's see. So we had some suggestions, some drawings that were submitted. Let's see, where'd they go? Oh, here they are. Two drawings that were submitted. They were kind of tough, actually. Maybe we can go into something a little easier, but these are, yeah, we have some anatomy here. Then we had another one. Yeah, these are amazing. I love the colors. We can talk about them. This would be something to do like on because I don't know how long it would take to do these, but this would be something on our Hangout. Say, hey, can you do this? Yeah, we'll just do it. Just do it. Because I don't know. I don't know. These take a little bit longer, and I don't know if everybody has paint. So I know everybody has a drawing utensil. It could be a pen or whatever you have. So those are the only two that were submitted. But yeah, and they have to do with anatomy, which is really interesting. So let's do this, talk about symmetry. All right, why don't we go ahead and draw this? I think so, unless somebody has, I don't know. These are a little more advanced. We can also practice our go to that line drawing website, which is pretty cool, has some good drawings to it. And I think I had, no, it's all right. We'll just do this. All right, I think I can screenshot this. Let me see if I can screenshot it, put it in the chat. Where's my chat? Now that I have my two screens, all right, I'm happy. Happier. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. I can screenshot it. There we go. Let's see. But I can't screenshot my camera. Whatever's on my camera. Let's see, capture. Then I can put it in the chat. All right, there we go. It's in the chat. All right. Right. Okay. Wow. This is a bit of a challenge. I love the simplicity, but it is anatomy. And if your anatomy is off, that is not good. One of them is a little bit taller than the other. And it is amazing. So I think let me see. Let me stop sharing because it is in the chat. Let's get it going here. All right. So if you are new and this is, maybe I'll try to break it down as simple as I can. We do kind of, it is about the practice, practice, practice. It's not just, like somebody said, I want to see if I have any talent. No, it's a journey. It's more of a journey. It really is. It's not. It's not like, okay, you either have talent or you don't. It doesn't work that way. You're either, a great baseball player or you're not. It's a journey. It really is. Baseball players, they start young. They start training them and you don't see the practice and the sweat. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? You practice, 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 right? It is really that. Um, okay, where's my screen now? Uh-oh, I can't see my screen. Oh, maybe because all right, I need to decide what's gonna go where. There we go. All right, that's it. All right, good. Okay, and speaking of what goes where, yeah. We'll use this colored pencil. I have a black colored pencil, not sharpened. Ballpoint pen. I like using ballpoint pens, but let's just go with this. We'll go with this colored pencil. All right, so there's two figures. I can kind of block them in. I can kind of see one head's here, one head's there, and I can see the distance and two circles. Ah, somebody says they see a V where their skirts are. That's good. The V, that's good. It does. They do kind of come together. And if you can actually see that negative space, that's awesome. That's called the negative space. It kind of helps with the spacing, with the placement. That's one of the P's. Because that's the placement that goes in and seeing that negative space. So if you can do see that, that kind of I can see it too. That's great. That V that's in there as the two skirts come together. And I can see that spacing. This really helps because I can see the height and the width of the Ozempic. I can see the ratio that goes in there. Does anyone know how we get the Zoom link for Sundays and what time? Okay, so the Zoom link is going to be out on when you actually let's let me that's a great question. Let me go to it. So you actually go sign up on the Meetup, and let's go to Meetup and oh, that's a great question. I take a little break here. Feel free to continue the drawing, don't go at my pace. Let me see, where is now? Let's use this screen up here. And then where's my main, is that it? Oh yeah, I think that was it. Oh yeah, there it is. My controls go everywhere. Sharing, that's what I need to do, share. All right. Okay, here we go. I'll share that. That works. There we go. That works. That's good. I can move it around. It's still sharing that. All right. So if you go to our meetup, which is meetup.com/drawing, that's our meetup, meetup.com/drawing. That'll take you to here. And then you go to events, click on events, and then that is going to take you to our Hangout. There we go. We got a Hangouts, a bunch of them. Oh, I don't have any monthly. Oh yeah, because the next one, there we go. April 2nd. Oh, April 1st, day after April 1st, April 2nd. And we've got quite a few Hangouts because it's weekly now. Oh, we already have 18 people signed up. Awesome. So here's our Hangout. You click on it, and then here's our Hangout. Here is where it says needs location. In this area is where I'm going to add the link. So the day of on Sunday, the link should be there, and it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., maybe 11 to 12, an hour, 2 hours. I don't know. We're just hanging out. Do your art. I'm going to do my art, and you can see what I'm working on and ask me questions, and you can. That's what it's about. It's about the how and everybody doing their own thing, creating, hanging out, no pressure, no rules, just pure creativity. This was written, AI helped me write that. And yeah, we already have 18 people signed up for it. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, blossom. All right, cool, cool, cool. And what else is there? Yeah, it should be there. Connections, notifications, and that's it. Should we close that? There we go. Stop sharing. Let's go back. Da, 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 da. All right, cool. Yeah. Make sure my paper is there so you can see how it's all fitting. Let's go back to our drawing. Back after these messages. Got to run. Thanks. It was fun. All right. You're welcome. All right. Kate. All right. Hold on. Let me cannot zoom. What are you working? Okay. What do I need? I am recording, right? Yeah, I'm recording it. Da, 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 da. I'm missing my picture. There it is. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, that negative space that helps. I'm going to try to get the proportions on, but I don't want to worry about the proportions. I'm going to worry more about the spacing. Okay. I can see that the arms kind of go in here and those are kind of like an X in there. And then we'll throw we'll throw the proportions on top. And then I can see this skirt coming back here in the shape of this skirt compared to the shape of this skirt. And then I can see that the legs kind of come down quite a bit. I might have, let me see. Yeah, all right, good. Mm, I'd rather see this up here. And I'm trying to arrange my screen. There we go. Yep, yep, yep. And it is practice, practice. And the best practice is when you practice with your purpose. You know why you're practicing. You're practicing because you want to get better at certain things. If it's drawing anatomy, then it's like, okay, ooh, this is perfect. But if it's like, oh, I don't like drawing people, then that's, you got to find your why. You got to find your spark. And sometimes the discipline. Sometimes you don't have that motivation. And it's also finding that. All right, so here we go. Let's I think, okay, yeah, good. Because one head is, oh, good. One head's taller than the other, right? And then I'm just checking my spacing. I'm checking my proportions, and I'm gonna throw everything on top right now. So if it's off, it's okay. Don't worry about it. All right, good. All right, and I'm gonna go on the image itself, and you can't see me this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the size of the head and then use that as a unit. Use that as a unit to kind of get our proportions here. And let's see, we'll use that as a unit. And usually the anatomic middle is here, at the groin area. That's the middle. So what that means is the top half is the same as the bottom half. So like right in there, right in that groin area. And that looks like it pretty much is about right. So, ooh, but these heads are really a lot. So, oh, I have a touch screen. My new laptop is a touch screen. It's very sensitive. I think I can use these lines here. Let me see. There we go. That's about a two. About a two. Two. There's a one, two. All right. So I'm gonna start with this circle here. And it actually is up here. I'm from up here to here. There's two of these down. So here's my head. There's a little bit of these flowers that kind of go over. I'm going to use that as the one. It looks like there's two down here. So I'm going to have to bring this down. Yeah, I'm going to bring this down. Or I can make this smaller. I can make the head smaller. Because the head is, these proportions are not natural. They are not natural. Yeah, the heads are smaller than usual. And maybe I'll do that. I don't know. So we have about three spaces here. And that's where the dress the skirt might come down a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, there's one, two, one, two. Yeah, and then another two, a little bit more for the skirt. So yeah, I saw something. Oh, thanks. Tried. Yeah, I know. Keep trying, keep trying. I haven't stopped. Just draw a circle. I know this is a tough one. I know, yeah, somebody uploaded these pictures. Usually we yeah, you go to our YouTube channel and it has different, and yeah, the different drawings there. Some of them are easier, some of them are tougher. So you got to find your lane, your lane. I'm gonna try to simplify this though. Don't give up just yet. You gotta sometimes it's that struggle, right? It's that fight. So here's our circle, and that's this where the head's gonna go. And this is our one. We're going to consider that our one right there, right? And I'm going to bring it down. Let's go a little bit darker. Let's zoom in a little bit too. So that's going to be our one. Um, I'm just getting the height of our figure. And this is all just sketchy. This is all sketch. So there's our one. This is going to be one. I'm using that one and then two, changing the heights again. I should have just made it smaller. Sorry if I'm confusing people, but And then I'm going to go down again a little bit more. Actually, ooh, yeah, I'm going to make it smaller. But that you get the idea. Hold on. I am gonna go smaller because then I'm not gonna have enough space down here. So I'm gonna make the head a little smaller. This is gonna be our head, just a little smaller. Just by this change here, it makes a difference. You can see how that's gonna make a difference. All right, so that's gonna be our one. Yeah, I see that makes a difference. So yeah, feel free if you need to adjust. Our new one is three, this here. That's gonna be our one. So there's one, one, two, and then another two, one, two. Oh, that works better. Yeah, because see, there we go. You'll see. I wish I could erase. And then our legs are one, two, three, a little bit more than three. So here we go. There's one, two, three, a little bit more than three. All right, so there it is. So this is where our head's going to be. And then it's this is our head, including the plumage or the flowers. We'll get that. And it's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight heads tall. Eight heads tall. All right. So we have a space for eight heads. And then I'm not going to worry about it. This is getting a little more. I don't want to lose people, but it is getting a little more complicated than I'd like. Let's do this. All right. So even drawing faces is a whole other challenge in itself. That's why I'm kind of this is where we're already jumping into something like I would say more than intermediate. I would say a little more advanced. But let's try to simplify it. All right, so I'm gonna keep that circle for the head. And then from there, I'm gonna add the nose and the and the lips and stuff. And then use my pen so you can really see it's really kind of small here. So I'm starting off with that circle. See, there's my circle. And then from that circle, I'm gonna pull out in the middle of the middle of the circle. I'm gonna pull out for the nose just a little bit, a little peak for the nose. And then underneath that, another little peak for the lips. And then bring it up for the jaw, and then shade it all in. That's the head right in there. That's the head. And we'll do it again over there. Let me do it a little bigger. But that's what we just did right in there. There's the head. And then up here, there's flowers and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to scribble it in because there's just so much. There's flowers that are in here. Just scribble in like, yeah, there's so much. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to do what the impressionist did. Just get the impression of it. I'm going to scribble. There's like a flower right in here and all that stuff. And this is probably a little small. I'll do it a little bigger again. Then there's a flower that actually goes over the head. And all these flowers and just scribbles. Let's do it again. And let's do it again a little bigger. Just for practice. So I start off with a circle. I'm trying to get a circle. And then the nose comes out from the middle, a little bit below the middle, comes out a little bit of a point. And then lip, and the lips together, I guess. And then a little bit of a chin. And then it zooms up. It zooms up here. That chin. And there's like an oval shape here, an egg shape actually. And then I can shade all this in. All this is going to be shaded in. See? So you got the nose. And it's kind of suggested or it's implied. I mean, you don't see the eyes, you don't see all this stuff. It's like a silhouette. But you can kind of see the nose. And then everything else kind of throws it together. See, this is the forehead. And that's kind of like what the head should kind of be like. And you can just practice this. Even if you just get this, sometimes you feel like, sometimes, how does that song go? Sometimes you want to give up. Oh, it's John Waite. Sometimes I want to give up. I want to give in. Yeah, John Wayne. That's a great song. But when I see you smile, I can, you know, because sometimes you feel like giving up. Sometimes you feel like giving in. But what motivates you, right? So that song is like, oh, I think it's powerful. That's his why. It's his why. When he sees her smile, I can face the world. Oh. All right, so there's the head. Then the neck. The neck kind of comes out and kind of curves, right? It curves. We'll add it to the body right now. I'm just showing you what's going to happen next. Then we've got this other arm that kind of comes out that way. There's a lot of parts and stuff. Here it is. My head's really small there. I'm gonna let's see. Let's see. Ooh, I wish I could put a grid on it. I should have done that ahead of time next time. All right, because the head comes down, the neck, I'm saying, sorry. The neck comes down. I'm gonna do it with this pencil and then the ink pen on top again. It comes down at a slight angle, this slight angle this way, and then it goes forward, and then it comes back. And that's right, it's these two spaces right here. I would say you can see these two head spaces below. That skirt is down there. And all this is just proportions, really proportions. And that's the tough one, right? Really to get proportions, take some practice. But it's this S shape. See that S shape, that S line right there? That's the back of the yeah, that's her back column. That's her back. Here's the shoulder, and then here goes down to the waist. But you can see it kind of looks like the letter S. And you can see it's two heads. And the head is from the bottom of the chin to the top of the hair, which is kind of like out of proportion. The actual proportion would be that big. All right, now there's a little bit of a taper for the neck. It does come small to wider. And is oh, there you are. Person who submitted this drawing. Like, is she here? Hopefully, because this is a tough drawing. And then now the arms, this arm kind of comes out this way at this angle. There's a slight curve to it. A slight curve to it. Yeah, this drawing is advanced. It's all right. We'll take it on. And then there's a taper, right, for you can see that S line, and then here to her bosom goes up and then down. There we go, right there. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I have tea. It's probably cold now, 2 hours cold. Mm. All right. That's it. That's the bosom. And oh, I love the colors. This would make a great painting. Oh, it is a great painting. And then the skirt, no, not the skirt, the top shoulder kind of goes in here, actually, kind of losing it a little bit. Yeah, when I got back from Mexico, I had a lot of coughing. Okay, so we're gonna bring that shoulder out. I don't know how to describe it. There's all these parts. And the deltoid, and then from the deltoid, there's like a ball here from the deltoid. Then it goes straight out. And there's a little bit of a curve, but you should try to get that little bit of a ball. You see how that line kind of went straight across, but that's part of that dress that goes this way. That's her bosom. All right. And then from here, that lower arm does get wider, and then it curves down to the hand. Now the hand, you really don't see the hand. It just comes down to 2 points. It looks like it's like a finger, and I don't know, wouldn't know if it's a thumb, but it's a little abstract. This is not realism, but they understand anatomy and they've exaggerated it. And I don't know, that little bump doesn't look right. That's okay. I like that. And then there's highlights and there's other details. This is, there's a lot of detail in here because where they overlap, this one, you can see this one, this hand is behind this hand. If you need to thicken it up, thicken it up. I'm going to widen it on mine just slightly. There it is. All right. Let's bring this. It's not straight across. It does come down slightly, the skirt. And then just, I mean, this was probably just painted with these broad strokes to get that skirt in there. Oops, let's zoom out. Yeah, there we go. So the skirt is going to be right in there. And then we've got the leg. Now I can see here, I can see I'm using this relationship. I can see the body and I can see the leg actually come back here. If I were to use a vertical line, the leg actually just kind of comes down and curves. And it is about 3 heads tall. 1, 2, 3. And it curves back here and then it curves forward. Oh, it's actually a little bit more, so that is good. Let's see, it's this other S curve right in there, like that. There we go. Oops, maybe if I zoom out a little bit more. There we go. Try to get that curve. Proportions are, it is out of proportion. Oh, shoot. I think, hold on. Okay, so this is the calf. That's the calf. Oh, and then, yeah, I need to bring this up a little bit more. The foot. It's the calf and this the foot, and it comes to a point. She's doing ballet. And this is a triangle shape. And there's more to it, but I can see this triangle shape for this foot. Yeah, there we go. Because it is a little bit bigger than our 3. Here's a 1, 2, 3, and it does go a little bit more. Might have gone a little bit further, but that's okay. It's exaggerated. Because once you have this toe, once you have this triangular foot, it is, and you do have to practice drawing feet. All it is really it's this triangle, kind of like that, and it is rounded. And just round it out a little bit and get those proportions. A little bit of curve. I mean, I don't know if I can zoom in on there so you can see what it kind of looks like. Then the calf is in there. See how I'm adding to it? And as it comes up now, I can add to it, to this leg, and actually probably push it back here because that's where that thigh is. Because this is all calf, singular. It's the calf. It's getting late. The calf. And then here's up here, this is the thigh. It goes up a little bit wider under the skirt. There we go. I'll probably bring that a little bit lower. There we go. That's it. That looks good. And if it doesn't come out, that's okay. It's about the practice. It's learning to kind of like, okay, I'm gonna try it again, or I'm gonna try, figure drawing. I don't know. Again, if this is your why, you'll fight it. You'll fight it till you get it. But so you gotta ask yourself, are you that warrior, or are you gonna just or take a break sometimes too, Warriors take breaks. Sometimes you might not win the battle, but you got to keep it for the war, right? Right. It's not about the battle. It's about the war, keeping at it. All right, there we go. Yeah, because this one's a tough one. All right, so this one is a little bit taller. I'm gonna see if I can block it in. Let's do the second girl. I think the first girl, she looks fine. I think she looks okay. Not perfect, but it's good enough for government work. Now we're gonna get fired, Elon. All right, here we go. Hopefully none of you are in that boat. All right, so this one is a little bit higher. We'll use this and the relationships. Try to see the relationship. See even the chin, everything's up a little bit higher. I'm seeing this relationship. And then, so I'm going to bring that up a little higher. I know this can be my head. I can be that can be my circle, and then I can be the face in front of it. And then all this flowery stuff. And then the neck. It is a little higher, the neck. It's going to go back to the shoulder and then forward to the skirt. Is the skirt higher or lower? It looks like the skirt's at the same level. It's just her head's a little bit higher up, but the skirt is at the same place, meeting at the V back there, and then here as well. Back. If this is straight, we're bringing that leg back here down to the ground, right in there, and then that triangle as well this way. That triangle foot. Yeah, the more you draw feet, the more you kind of get the feel of that shape for the foot. Then the calf behind it, and then just it going up, almost pointing forward. And then that other arm coming here. I'm kind of locking it in with the pencil. Actually, it should bend down as well. Some overlapping. And then here, again, her bosom right in there. All right, I kind of like that. That's pretty good. All right, let's zoom in, and you can see everything's kind of like laid out. I kind of almost echoed what the first girl is doing. And now let's just do it. Yeah. Commit. That's what commitment is. Sometimes when things aren't going right, you commit to your drawing until go to the end, no matter how it turns out. Yeah, that's your commitment, you know. Some people just give up and that's okay. You just stop but you got to know how committed are you? What's that level of commitment? Yeah, because they say that the hen was involved, but the pig was committed in making breakfast anyways. All right, so let's start off with that circle. The level of commitment in making breakfast. The hen was involved, but the pig was committed. Yeah, because it took a piece of this, took a piece of him or her. All right, so there's our circle. And then we're going to add the nose. See, I just start off with a circle, and then the nose kind of comes out right a little bit below the middle, or that I would say that 9 o'clock point points out. There's a little nose, and then points out a little bit for the mouth, and then the chin, and then it just kind of like an ice cream shape or an egg shape kind of comes back up to that circle. Not exactly, not perfect, but close enough. And we're just getting the impression. And plus it's really small. Could have drawn it bigger. That's okay. And then the flowers on the head. One here, curlies. Looks like curls. There's a lot of flowers. That's a lot of detail. I'm not going to worry about it. We could be here all night doing all these flowers and stuff. But I'm just scribbling it in. Sometimes you can just scribble it in. All right, let's get that neck on there. There's that neck right in there. And then see how it pulls back to the shoulders. Pulls back and then goes forward to the waist. And then here you can see a little bit of the deltoids on that arm. And it does curve down slightly. That shoulder. And then the opening of her dress kind of has this. And that just comes with practice and drawing backs and figures. There we go. And then here, her bosom. And then back to that shape. See how it's all fitting together. All right, that's good. Like it so far. Let's get that arm good. It's fitting on my screen. I'm gonna see. I can see where the hand is. That hand, and it's like an oval shape right in there. And there's like an I don't know. I think there's a finger or something. I don't know. It's hard to see. And then I'm gonna add the other parts like attached to it. 'Cause that hand just kind of comes down right there. Let's just shade it all in. All right. And then there is a little bit of a gap. There's a little bit of a curve. The gap is because of, you can see that gap looks really good right there. Because this arm is behind that one. And it's also, this one's getting lit up. So I can now start kind of adding the muscles. I have a little bit of a curved line, but we can start adding some form to it. Up here where the deltoids are, or the deltoid is, it's a little bit wider. As it comes down, I can, smoothen it out and make it wider if I need to, like adding a piece of clay to it. Then the hand, it's pretty straight, the lower arm. It's really that deltoid. Oh, keep adding. That deltoid is wider. Maybe I can widen this one up a little bit. So I can go back there and widen it. That looks good. All right, that's it. I think that's it. I'm happy with that. Face is a little exaggerated. I mean, I can put something next to it so you can see the scale. It's actually kind of really small scale-wise. Thank you so much. This was fun. Thanks for having us. You're welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right. See you on Sunday. All right. We got 21 people here. We'll take suggestions. Oh, you're welcome. We'll take suggestions for next drawing. If you find something, we can put it in the chat and we can yeah, I see you. Good stuff. Um, yeah, if you can put it in the chat and we can draw it. All right. Here we go. Actually, I can draw that other one that you posted as well. That one's actually probably, well, we can make it up a little bit more. I'll be a little more free with it. All right, so this back dress coming out this way, and I'm just with paint. It is a little bit darker. We can look at the values because it is kind of like shaded. I'm actually just doing quick cross hatching on it. Cross hatching. Yeah, this is good practice just for cross hatching or shading this leg. I'm looking at the front part, this leg. I just thickened it up. Comes down and just down. See that front part. And then the back part. Let's zoom in on that leg. That's about it. I can see how it relates to the top of the body. It is behind. If I were to drop a line from the shoulders down, the shoulder line actually is way up there. Kind of reminds me of Nevada. Nevada, is it Nevada? Yeah, it is Nevada. It's the state, but if you look on the map, Los Angeles is further west than what's that? It's not Vegas. I think it's Reno. I don't know. I'll have to look at the map right now. It is further west. All right. I digress. All right, so here we go. Let's get that calf in. That calf is right there because it's thicker and then it goes thin. That calf right in there. And then the ball of that foot. And again, you got to practice drawing feet. Again, if you don't get this, it's like, oh, I can't. Don't get the cants in the pants. And practice drawing feet. Anatomy is tough, but you definitely got to practice and break it down and see the parts. And the more you practice that, the better you get. And as it comes up, here's the thigh. As it widens up, as it goes up into oblivion, into the skirt. Yeah. So 0.2 ballerinas. All right, I think that leg looks pretty good. Yeah, you can see that curve in it. the calf, the ins and outs. I don't know. All right, cool. On the fly. I think that's pretty good. Let's see what that looks like. And then you can paint it. If you need to paint it, a little paint. All right, let's do the other one. Let's just do the other one. Let's just do it really quick. Actually, I'm gonna have to go to the share my screen again, and then let me see. I think we can. Yeah, there we go. Right. There, that one. Okay, so we'll do this. I'm not going to yeah, I'll screenshot it, but I'm not gonna follow it completely. I'm not gonna follow completely. Something in the chat. Actually, I do need to look at the chat. Thanks. I had a lot of fun. Great. Thank you for joining us, Juan. All right, all right. Screenshot. I'm gonna screenshot this one. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Like here, there's like a Pegasus or something, and wow, I don't know. This is a complex one. Then you got all these flowers and a lot of stuff happening. This would be good, like a long-term project. But I'm just gonna do a simple version of it. Let's just do a simple version of it. All right, there it is. That's in the chat now. I think does it have the feet? I'm not sure. All right. Oh yeah, it does have the feet. All right, cool. I think so. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it does have the feet. All right, let's just do this. Okay, so just composition wise, this is broken down into composition. If I look at it, I can see it is more vertical. It is vertical. When I would have my students do animations, they'd always do it like this, vertical. But animations and TVs are horizontal, right? The TV, you go to the movies, your screens are horizontal, but a lot of their drawings are vertical. And I was like, oh, I don't know if it was because they look at their phones all day or what it is, but this is the format here now. This one's vertical, like that. I scribbled it in. And then if I look at the middle, that's about the middle. Everything is actually below here. Oh, that's cool, Cheryl. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. You got it. Awesome. Cool. I don't know if you want me to share it, but that's cool. That's super cool. So Cheryl shared her tongue twister. Cheryl shared her, yeah, drawing there. That's good. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming across or if you're just on your own, just do it on your own. I'm just here to guide. I'm not, and I can break this into fourths, and I can see that the figure is in this area right here. See composition and how it all fits. See, just by breaking into fourths, I can see that this character is in here, and then the roads kind of just go around. I would like to put a little more curve in that road, just for my own personal thing. But I can see by breaking it into fourths, I can see that it fits right in here, composition wise. So there's the head, there's the body, the torso. There's three parts: the head, the torso, well, the pelvis, and then the legs. The legs, here we go. I'm gonna kind of do my own version of it. Let's zoom in, but I have it how it's gonna fit on my paper. It's this character, which is really interesting. She's walking off onto this. I'm doing my own version. She's walking to this road up here. We're starting with her. She's the closest. I kind of laid it on my paper already. We can zoom in a little bit more. Let's just go in with a colored pencil, the whole thing. I have my proportions. My proportions look pretty good. Maybe the legs can be a little bit longer because this is the anatomic middle, or I can raise this up and make this smaller. The legs are here. But you know what? Her blouse is what's happening. That's what happened. Her blouse kind of comes down right in there. It's okay. We're going to start from the top and then go down. And that's what's happening. Blouse goes down. So, all right, here we go. First is the hair. The hair kind of just whips around over. And there's lights and darks. You can see the grays. So she's an older woman, I think. I'm assuming. You can see like this whole mass of hair here. And then you have more hair coming down as it kind of like comes down to almost like a point, triangular point. And I'm just gonna just throw little hairlines everywhere. And there's some hairs that are kind of going in different directions. But I kind of got the mass of it, the mass of the hair. You kind of see it. I'm just getting the feel of it. I'm not doing every single strand. Just kind of got the shape of it and then just like a lot of little details. Then now I'm gonna do the shoulders. Good thing she doesn't have like a lot of, a lot of anatomy. And she's just a little bit of almost like a little bit of a bulk. And then one arm here on this right side with the sweater has some wrinkles in it, some folds. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it down to here and then see this little curve right in there as it goes around the body. You can see it. I'm just making these little curves because that blouse kind of, or that sweater kind of fits on her. And then here it ends. And you can see these little folds. They're called coils, kind of like coils from the, I can add a couple, maybe some really small ones on this left side. And then what does she have? Does she have a tail? That looks really weird. What is that in her hand? It looks like she's got something. Definitely that's not her hand. That is bizarre. She's got something that's dangling. I don't know if it's done. AI kind of messes with stuff, but I don't think this was done with AI. This doesn't look like AI. But you never know nowadays. It's hard to tell. I'm just going to add a little simple hand right in there. I'm not going to add that little dangling participle. All right, now just the legs. Again, we have the upper leg and then the lower leg. There's a little bit of a calf in there, right? The calf. Yeah, it's getting the proportions. I think that really helped. I don't know that person who drew the two. See, I don't know where your experience is, and I don't want people to get discouraged. Some people have more experience than others. Don't compare to despair. It's like, oh, you want to compare your work to your work. Say, okay, I'm going to be on a journey of drawing anatomy. So then, then you just practice. You look up proportions for anatomy. Then practice, practice, practice. And if that's what you're practicing on, come in on the Hangouts and just hang out and draw. If you want feedback, if you don't want feedback, just say, okay, I don't know feedback, just sharing, which is fine. All right, I'm adding another calf. Same thing. I'm giving it a little bit more form, well, just a little bit more than the picture. I have one foot kind of going in one direction. Yeah, this one, and I'll probably have this one kind of going in that same direction. This one has it almost like going in two different directions. But it's so small, nobody's, if I can fake it a little bit. But I do have the calves. You can see it looks real. It looks not realistic, but it looks believable. It looks believable. I'm shading it a little bit more. I'm looking at it, what I need to do, change, maybe add a little more pompies or whatever I need to do. All right, that's it. Because this is the focal point of the picture. So once I make sure this one looks pretty good, then everything else kind of just kind of like is thrown in there. There is this Pegasus or something. I'm not going to worry about that. If you want to add it in or however, let's zoom out. Now I can see there's a little bit of overlapping. The road kind of comes in right in here. There's the road with a little bit of a bump in the road. Get over those bumps. And then this swoops up. It goes back, then it goes forth, and then it goes up into the sky. And then on this side, and then there's like lines going up and down. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. That really helps. I mean, we have about 5,000 members, but we don't have enough subscribers. I never really pushed it, but that's something I want to kind of push. our YouTube subscribers. You don't have to watch, just subscribe. I just need that so we can, I don't know, have some direction of what we're trying to do here. A little bit of direction. All right, so now there's this road. Speaking of direction, is going up and it does taper. So what you want to do is as it's going up, it gets smaller, and as it comes down, it gets wider. Right? It looks like it gets wider here. And notice how it's a tapered tail. Actually, there's a tapered tail. We've talked about that in our other videos. It's kind of like goes back and forth, and as it's coming down, it tapers bigger, like a tapered tail. There we go. And all this is the road. And there's, I don't know, the picture itself has little horizontal kind of lines. Of the painting has these horizontal lines going across like this for some reason. And then you've got a lot of grass and flowers, but it kind of comes out like this into the sky. Like the Wizard of Oz. There we go. I can see that this line here, notice how this line kind of curves. And then this line, all that. And then, all right, here we go. Then all this, I'm just shading it. Shading. But composition, this is really good because this is the following the rule of thirds. This person is in the thirds. And we talk about composition not too much, but how you're putting things together. Once you learn how to draw stuff and you're putting things together to tell a story, what's the most important part? This really brings your eye around, and and then there's got some stars in the sky, some stars here and there. One, two, three, random, but I'm kind of trying to follow the picture. But the story you're trying to tell, there we go. And then it's following that Pegasus that's there. Now I can put some more of the flowers in here, stuff, little details. There's flowers. Just got a drawing of it. It's not too shabby. All right, she's holding a leash. Of her dog who's crossing the rainbow bridges. Oh, okay, I see what it is now. Okay, yeah, it's kind of hard to see. I have it on my small screen. Oh, you're right. Oh, it's sad now. Oh, that's right. Now that makes sense. Okay. Oh man, all dogs go to heaven. So that's what that is. Yeah. And it's hard to tell that it was a dog, but yeah, okay, from this angle. Yeah. Yep. Oh wow, sad. Well, I know you had a dog. Hopefully, I don't know that happens. So let's see how's your dog doing? Yeah, there's a thumbs up. I see a thumbs up. For me, I haven't drawn since I was a teenager or 40 years. Wow, last session was my first time drawing since. So happy to have found your group. Oh, awesome. Glad. It's a horse halter, so he can catch the unicorn or Pegasus. I don't know. You can see that's the whole thing. What's cool about a picture tells a thousand stories. A picture's worth 1,000 words, but yeah, it's definitely you can put in your own story. I really like that picture of that horse. We can do that one, and we can end the night on that one. We can end that night on that drawing of the horse. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And I do have I had my ruler earlier. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. I see it. Ta-da! All right, this looks pretty good. I'm happy with this. I mean, it's a quick sketch. Talked about composition, talked about, and somebody, wow, 40 years. See, that's, man, if you would have spent some time, but I don't know. Can't live in regret. Or just, I know I sometimes look back and said, oh my gosh, I have been cheated. I know. I was thinking about that too, just earlier too. I was thinking about, oh man, school. Oh, I wish I was in school now. But I don't know if I'd be the same person. I would be. I don't know. It's so hard to say because there's certain things that have shaped me. I was raised by PBS and then I was a very curious soul. And now with AI and stuff, I'd be doing all kinds of stuff. See, I don't know. I really found school a little bit of a waste, a little bit. But now I understand it, and I'm like, oh, okay. If I were to teach it and I tried, I'd do it differently. But yeah, it is what it was. All right, let's draw this. Okay, we're gonna do a grid. We're gonna do this horse. Let me show it to everybody because there's people that are watching that are like, "What are you doing?" Okay, so somebody uploaded a picture of a horse to our chat. So I'm gonna share that horse, and it's on a grid. So if you have grid paper, that's great. If you don't, we're gonna do some grid paper. We're gonna make some grid paper. Where did I thought I downloaded it? Where did it go? Let's see. Maybe it's here. Nope. Owl. Another owl. And that's another owl. Let me close all these owl pictures so we don't freeze our computer. And I'm going to try to download this horse again. Ah, there it is. Oh, I downloaded it already. Let me cancel that. It's already downloaded. Let's go up here. All right, we're going to draw a horse. So if you get a ruler, because we're going to use a grid. The thing is, where is my horse? I just downloaded it. Oh, excuse me. Where's my cough button? I think I'll download it again and then, oh no, here it is. Nope, that's not it. But I can find it here under downloads. Art coaching. Nope, I saw it earlier. Oh, under pictures maybe? No. All right, I'll download it again one more time. I saw it there. I don't remember the folder. It's right there. It's under documents. Ah, there it is. There it is. It's in the documents folder. Or it was. There it is. All right. Here we go. So if you have your ruler and your pencil, let's open it up. Uh-oh. Ah, there it is. Use photos. Okay. Now let me share my screen. So we're going to be drawing a horse head. Here it is. All right. Let me share my screen. All right. It is an 8 by 9 or 9 by 9, 9 by 9 cube, 9 by 9 grid. So we're going to draw a 9 by 9 grid for this horse. Now let me share my screen if I can. Oh, I can move this over here. Then go to share. Gosh, these controls disappear on me. Oh, there it is. Share that window. All right, share. All right, there it is. So this is what we're going to be drawing. We're going to be drawing this horse, of course. So if you want to screenshot it, screenshot it. Oh, I should screenshot it. I wonder if it'll disappear. I don't think it will. I just have to find my, you have to get used to these controls. Go to my chat. There it is. All right, I got 15 hardcore heroes in here. All right. Screenshot this. Our last drawing of the night. Unless we have suggestions, I'll take suggestions. But I'm glad we're going back to weekly, so that's good. All right, this is a good one. I like grid drawings. Grid drawings really help. There it is. It's in the chat now. All right, let's get out of here. All right. Screen sharing has stopped. Okay. The window is closed. Window of opportunity. Okay, I get it. All right, here we go. So we're gonna make a 9 by 9 grid. All right, so 9 by 9. And I have, let me see, I have this ruler here. We have 8. Oh, excuse me. I have an itchy throat all of a sudden. Excuse me. Oh, I closed it. That's right. Open it up again. Ah, there it is. All right. All right, we're going to draw a grid. If it's new to you, it's great. If it's not, well, fast forward or I don't know, just hang in there. Or practice your drawing, don't waste your time. Practice your sketching. It's always good to practice, practice, practice. That's why I would doodle in class. That would be one of the reasons. Hey, that actually makes a lot of sense. All right, here we go. So I'm going to make a grid. I guess I'll just use my pen. It's all right. So I'm going to say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have the 9. It's not going to fit, but I could actually, fold my paper, make it smaller, make a smaller grid like this. I can do this. Watch, instead of making it 1 inch, I can make it a little bit smaller than an inch. So from here to here, and I can use that as a unit. I can use that as a unit instead, but I will not. Now, where's everybody? I lost it. Oh no, there we go. There's everybody. I can use that as a new unit, and this would be my unit instead of inches, but I'm going to stick with the inches. And I think I can get away with, no, I can't. I cannot get away with let me see, 8. There's a little bit more. Yeah, no, it is 9. We are going to need 9. I know what. We'll do it on my paper here. This paper here is bigger. There's a bigger sheet of paper here. All right, we'll do it on here. All right, let's do it. Do it, do it, do it. All right, and let's do it right. All right, so because we got to use the edge. The further your lines are, because it takes 2 lines to make it takes 2 points to make a line. So I'm going to start from the corner. I don't know, my students had trouble measuring, right, and using a ruler. So make sure your ruler, this is a good point. Make sure your ruler is right at the edge. And you can use a grid paper that's already made, but this is an important skill. Measuring is important. All right, so here we go. There's the corner. And then here I can see this thick line. That's a 1, 2. I'm going every inch. 3, 4, 5. Ooh, this is going to be a while. I'll try to 6, 7, 8, and then 9. There's 9. And our papers actually goes 10, 11. It's 11. It's 11 inches by something. 11 by more than 12. This is a big sheet of paper. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So this is our small side. And we need a square sheet of paper, 9 by 9. I'm using inches. You can actually make it smaller or bigger. You can see how I made that that little simple unit and could use that instead. But then I would do it like this. If this is my unit, this is my new unit, right? I would go 1 and then move the paper over 2, 3, 4. But or if you want it to go bigger, this is how you can make murals or paintings on a wall or a bigger canvas. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm starting right at the corner. Notice I'm starting at the corner. 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's all we need is 9. And then we go all the way to the bottom. Let's see, all the way to the bottom. Here, make sure it lines up. That was the students would get it off. They wouldn't line it up, and then all their lines would be crooked. All their lines would be crooked. And then I tell them, oh, you have to do it again. They're like, oh, mister, I did it. I know, but you didn't do it right. Oh, then they'd be all, oh, and then, oh, I know it's a pain. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry I didn't mention doing, you have to pay attention. Education is not free. You have to pay attention. All right. All right, here we go. So 1, 2, 3. I know there's enough. So now I can make the lines. I know there's enough this way. I didn't make any points on this side because I want to use a straight edge. You'll see. You see what I'm talking about? Because this doesn't go all the way to the end. So we're going to do the short side first. On I had my table covered. We're getting a new table though. I can see it here. I'm gonna build it. You can see it's on here. There's some pine. I'm gonna build a new table and try to get this set up better. It takes time, just little at a time. I've got other things going, mostly pickleball. Oh man, I love playing pickleball. If anybody wants to play pickleball, let me know where you're at. We'll go play. I love playing pickleball. Been playing for a year now. All right, so 2 points to make a line. You see 1 point, 1 point. Make sure your ruler's on one side, make sure it's on the other side, make sure it's lined up. This is a whole skill in itself. Making grids, drawing and grid drawing. I think we have only done 1 or 2 grid drawings out of probably a little bit more. but not an official one like this one. Probably maybe two. I know we've done like sketchy grids, but this is like a real grid. We're really measuring it out, really making it. But doing this really helps with drawing and getting accurate because spacing is the biggest challenge to drawing. Seeing space, the ratios, the negative space, the positive space. We talked a little bit about negative space today in the beginning drawings. Oh, and in the both classes. Oh, and it moves. Don't let the ruler move on you. Make sure it's there, make sure it's there, make sure it doesn't move. Hold down tight. So then I've had that happen where I put the pen and I move my ruler because I'm pushing down on the pen too hard. And if you make those mistakes, it's okay. Forgive yourself. Nobody's perfect. And then you learn, just like, okay, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not trying to do that again. Don't get the cans in the pants. And it's easy to kind of like frustrated. It is very easy. You gotta be a warrior, grow that tough skin. You know, that's why we're warriors here. Warriors. You guys are hanging in. I'm probably preaching to the choir. Let me see. As you guys are here hanging out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. We got our 9 going that way. We had an extra point here. Now, here, now that I have this last line, I can do my points again. So I'm gonna go make sure it starts off on the corner. See, no gaps. Lines up that ruler. And then here's 1. I know I've got a lot of lines here. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. I need to start on the other side. Yeah, because I started on this side. So make sure you're starting on the right side. That's a good lesson. Because then same thing will happen to my students. Like, oh, you didn't pay attention. You got to pay attention. You got to focus. See, that's all drawing is helps you focus. Pay attention and learn from what you do. You got to learn from what you do, or you're going to keep making the same mistakes. Learn from what you do. And then that's it. That's how you grow. And it's okay to make mistakes. You learn from it. And then just keep going. Yep. But sometimes life doesn't have that undo button. I wish it did. All right, here we got 6, 7, 8, 9. There it is, all the way. And now we just connect the points, and then we're done. We're done with our grid. Some of you probably already done waiting, just hearing me ramble. But no, those are life lessons, you know. I think there's so many life lessons. And oh, I want to work on my cards so you can see how those life lessons and drawing kind of connect. And I can retire from YouTube or retire from, well, because I want to get all my warm-ups. Once I have my warm-ups up, that's going to help a lot. And we'll probably just go to the weeklies and I can just point people to, okay, you want to learn how to draw, do this, do that. And I don't have to repeat myself here. And then here, grids, I can put this as a grid drawing. And then don't have to repeat myself too much. The lessons. But then it's the practice. The practice is really where the repetition is. Repetition is the mother of learning and the father of boredom. If you don't know, if you don't know how to add variety to your repetition. So if you're doing something over and over, you can relax, it can be relaxing, but it can also be boring. Mister, this is boring. Oh gosh. I'm sorry, it's not Netflix. Sorry, yeah, it's good to be bored, actually. It is good, scientifically proven. And that's what's one of the problems with electronics is it doesn't let you get bored and kind of like let your brain kind of play in that space. All right, here's our 9x9 grid. We are done with the 9x9 grid. Now we got to get that drawing on here. Now there are numbers. There are numbers. Let's see. Let's get the numbers on here. Let's use a colored pencil. We do have numbers, and it starts off with a number 2 here. This is a number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just following the picture. 9, and then it goes 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm just gonna get the important parts and then it goes up. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, oh my gosh. Okay. That's why we don't have uh it's actually by 10. Oh yeah. It goes to 10. Duh. Oh my gosh. I made a mistake. Let's change these numbers to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I was looking at the picture, and the picture has the 9 start in here. It doesn't have a 10, but it does need to have a 10. So we need to add another square here. I'm just gonna fake it. I'm just gonna fake it. Well, actually, I can use this line in here and just fake it. Let's do it really quick. You get the idea. And then these just continue. Right. Okay, and these numbers need to be over there because it's actually 10 by 9. Actually, it's less than it's like a half. This is just space. It's just space. We really don't need it. All right, here we go. Whew. Let's start with the hardest part. The hardest part is the eye. If we don't get the eye right, everything else kind of just falls apart. So the eye is like the most important part. It's the window of the soul. We got to get that right or semi right. If it doesn't, well, it's okay. And then everything else, I'm gonna rush it. I'm gonna rush it because what time is it? It's already 8:30. All right, cool. We've gone to 9 to 10, but now in my age now, I think I'm getting a little tighter, faster. But it's been actually a long day. All right, here we go. So we need to go to square number 4, 6. Sunk my battleship. So here's 6. I'm gonna go up, and then we're gonna go to 4. 4, 6. That's the square we want. 4, 6. We're gonna zoom in on 4, 6. 4, 6. Sunk my battleship. There it is. 4, 6. 4, 6. 4, 6. Get it really big. There it is. 4, 6. All right, 4, 6. 4, 6 is where the eye is. Okay, the eye is right in, and I can break it into halves again and half again. And in this space is where the eye is going to be. Now, if it's kind of like a circle. Well, actually, there's a lot going on in here. It's more than just a circle. There's a lot. This picture is not easy. It's not. This is not easy. This is not easy. We're going to do the best we can with it. That's okay. All right. But in here, we're breaking this into fourths. Do the best you can. Again, it is drawing eyes. You got to practice drawing eyes and see how they're constructed. This is a horse's eye. Okay. So there is a kind of like a circle shape, and then there's an eyelid that goes over it. There's an eyelid that goes over it. Yeah, but it's pretty high. So there's that roundness. The bottom part is round right in there. Maybe it went a little too low. He's gonna look a little sleepy. That's okay. How's my focus? Focus. It's not focusing too well. And then it has right. That's kind of like the eye. And then it has the eyelid going over it. You probably want to look at the picture. Don't really follow me so much. Well, you can. But look at, well, or all, actually both of us. Look at the picture. Look at, because I don't know what the quality is here. And the quality of the picture does make a difference. There is a little bit of a pinch over here. And this eye is really dark. Horse's eyes are really dark. And we want to try to keep the highlight. But yeah, this is going to be pretty dark. And it really gets black around the pupil, like right in there, the pupil. And I'm trying to keep that highlight. Highlight. I'm going to bring a little bit of shadow to the top of that. And then there's the eye. The eye, there's the eye. I think that looks really close. Man, this is not easy. Yeah, we're gonna have to find We're gonna have to do some more prepping. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. We're finding some good pictures that we can use. All right, this is a good picture, but if you don't have it, you don't have all the detail. Because then now here there's like a little bit of a eye sag, and it drops down underneath the grid line. This little eye sag, and this little eye sag is lighter. It's not as dark. It's like a little bit of a eye bag. Call it eye sag, eye bag. And then there's a little bit of a pupil right in here as it comes into like a point. Yeah, because this eye is going to be really important. And trying to draw what we see and capturing it as this also this other line up here goes into like another eyelid. There's a lot of rendering, and I'm kind of like, even shading as I'm going along, which is kind of like, I don't know, I want to say cheating or more advanced. Because like I can see this whole kind of like, see, it looks like the letter L right in there. See that letter L? And then all this is kind of like shaded. There's a little bit of shade, that darkness. Yeah, and I know the eye parts and stuff like that. So if yours is not looking right, that's okay. What's gonna make it actually look pretty good is the placement of everything. You can actually kind of like soften things up, so it's kind of like the illusion there. That's the eye. That's the most important part. And it goes dark, and there's hard to describe because this is the eye. The pupil is dark, and then it goes light, and then it goes dark again. So I kept a little bit of a light there, and then here it goes light again, and then it goes dark again. It's learning to see all the lights and darks and all the detail. And if you're just really focusing on one square at a time, it really helps. It really does. I mean, if it's hard to do it from this camera and stuff, but we'll just keep going with it. All right, that was the hardest part, believe it or not. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest really quick. All right, yeah, really quick. So helps to have a stump for shading. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it does help to have a stump for shading. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and draw the I can see this top of the white part of the horse goes and it hits the middle of this other side. Where I'm looking at 3, 7 now. This square 3, 7. Let me see, 3, 7. So 3, 7. It kind of cuts in from that little corner right there, and then comes in there, and then comes down to the middle on the 3 side. So that's there. And if you need to go back in there and add a little bit of detail, because I'm just kind of giving you the general shape of it, but there's little backs and forths and stuff like that. Because you can actually block it in and then go back and get the detail. The level of detail would be up to you. Because then here, this white comes in and then it comes down almost to the side of this corner. Now, if you think about fractions here, I said on the half on this side, and here it's almost on the quarter of this side, probably a little bit less, because here's half and here's a quarter. Notice that comes in and then down. And all this is going to be shaded. All this is going to be shaded. Yeah, with a stump. You can do it with a stump or just do it lightly in there. As I'm doing it as I go. Sometimes you can draw and then shade afterwards, but today I'm just going with it. And I can shade lightly. I can always go back and shade darker. And then here we go. Let's see. This is going to really help. Let me see. I need to move my paper over. Yeah, this way. In here. 3, 8. 3, 8. Let's do 3, 8. It's going to really help getting the proportions and the placement of everything. And 3, 8, it comes down again, down to the quarter of it. See this, I'm looking at this white square here, and it does kind of go out to number 4, to the eye, right to that line between 8 and 9. And then it comes down here. And I'm looking at this shape here, this shape of this white shape, this background shape, and then this shape here. That's the nose, and it cuts into here just a little bit. And then we've got the muzzle and stuff. I'm gonna have to probably zoom back. Let's go back up. I'm gonna because there's a lot of detail in here. But I'm gonna let's do the ears, and then you'll probably feel better. I know feelings is kind of really interesting. Sometimes it's just fighting your feelings. I can't fight this feeling any longer. But sometimes those feelings is like, oh, I don't. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't. Sometimes you got to fight it. All right. So the top of the horse's head is like at number 7. Here's number 7, right up in here. Not all the way to the top. This is the top of the head right here. See, right in there. There's a little bit of a gap. I would say quarter, a fourth, quarter horse. It's a fourth of that square. And then it comes down and it loops onto this piece that we just did right in here. Kind of like this is like that hair that kind of goes in there. And give my life direction. Oh, there's that word popping up again. And even as I wander, I'm keeping you in sight. Your candle in the window on a warm. Okay, so let's get those ears going. You can see the ear right here. This is 2 7 7 2. That's a square 7 2, and it's going to go up to 8 up in here. So it cuts in here, and I see this little triangle. See, it cuts in here. The ear cuts up in here, and then it comes down. See, it's this straight, and then it comes down here, almost like the letter D. And there's a lot of little detail and stuff where if you take your time and see how it actually probably even cuts down into this ear a little bit more, this square. Oh, I'm a little too high. I bring it down a little bit more. Right in there, something like that. There's one ear, but you can see how it fits. And then it's all kind of shaded. I can shade it. It's all gonna be one shade. I can shade it lightly. There it is. There's that one shade. There's that shape. Right, it's from, and probably a little bit, I have it a little pointy. I can round it out a little bit more. Get the feel of it. Add a little more texture if I wanted to. I mean, then the inside of the ear is a little bit darker. All these slight changes. I can go back in there and do that. But I think this next ear will really help define this horse, of course. I'll say, so here we got, this is, the gap is 7. It's inside 6 and 1. 6 and 1. Right in here, that ear right here, 6 and 1 is pointy right in there. So it goes all the way up here, about as high as that one. Notice how it curves here. And it looks like I feel like it's like a wave. It's a tapered tail. Oh, it's not like a shark fin. It's like a shark fin. See that shark fin? That tapered tail, that shark fin, right in there. That's in 6, 1. Bingo. Not by a vowel. So it's like a shark fin. Notice how it's like a shark fin. This top part curves here, and then this one comes in and then out. And then you'll notice these shapes over and over. You will. You'll be like, oh, okay, I've drawn this before. And it gets easier. It does. It does get easier. You gotta trust. Gotta trust, mister. Oh my God, that was the last time I trusted a student. Not the, yeah, well, trust but verify. I had to verify now from then on. Trust me. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll trust you. No, didn't work. All right, so this actually here, 5, the ear actually goes into 5 a little bit. This is 5. This is 5, this is 6, 7, 8, and if you need me to number those up there too. I'm doing it really light. But the ear kind of goes in there. Yeah, grid drawing is good. You see, you got to know why you're drawing, what you're doing, right? And sometimes just shooting to that and you just do it, right? And the grid drawing is like a big shortcut. It really is. I kind of, not really done a lot of it for this class because I want people to kind of like work on the other drawings, the drawing skills I kind of show you by observing and stuff like that. But this is a good way of doing it quickly, and I know we need to do more of it because it gives you good results. So it's a little bit of both. You got to do both. So there's our ears. You can see it starting to come together. And then let's see. There's our ears. We got a little message. Let's take a look. Good night. Somebody saying good night. Ready, ready. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right. So there's that other ear. I'm gonna zoom back in here and just get that back part. And then the other hard part, the other part is that muzzle and the nose right in here. But I'm gonna do this back part and then we'll shoot in this area. We'll work on this area. All right. And again, oh, man, you'd have to go at your own pace and do your own observing, but trust the grids. You got to really trust the squares. You focus on one square at a time. If you have to, I mean, get paper and just look at one square at a time. That really helps as well because it helps you really focus and draw what you see, not what you think you see. You're not drawing an eye, you're drawing, shapes. And if you're having trouble with one square, make it into smaller squares. Make it into smaller squares. This drawing is not easy, so it's not really a beginner grid drawing. So it's not, you just gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. And just do the best you can. If you're really a warrior, you're going to progress faster because you're like, okay, it's okay. It's the next one. It's the next one. I want to get it better. Okay, I'm going to simplify, especially if you're kind of like, oh man, that was a tough one. All right, I'm going to go the easier one. And that's where, I would probably label all these and say, okay, this is a level 5 drawing, a level 10 drawing. All right, so number 5, 2, there is a little bit of a swoop right into that corner. Right, that 5, I can see it kind of swoop into that corner. Right, 5, 2, swoops into that corner, and then I can see it kind of come down, and then it comes up in here above the middle. Yeah, see, I'm seeing the fractions, and the important fractions are the halves and the quarters. Halves and the quarters, the quarter horse, the halves and the have-nots. Let's see, and then it kind of comes down. And then here it goes down to 3, 3, and 3, 3. That's this one here, 3, 3. It goes to, what am I aiming for? Down to this quarter, down here. See, I can see it's here. So I know it's going to go from here to here. And I can just do it straight if I needed to, but I know there's like curves here. So I'm getting that curve, getting that flow, get to the flow. The flow. There it is. Now we need 2, 3. This 2, 3. Yeah, it cuts right to the middle. 2, 3 cuts to the middle. Then cuts down for 4. 4, this is 4 right in here. Oh, that angle. Shoot, right? See, I've got that whole angle in there. See, there's that back of that horse. That good angle. A little bit of curves here and there. You got it straight. That's okay. You can go back and curve it a little bit with a pencil. It's coming along, coming along. It's actually, I don't know. I think it's looking, I can see it. I can see it already how it's going to look finished. All right, so let's focus in now. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see where we're at, what we've got so far. Got the back of the horse, got the ears, got the eye, and the other eye's on the other side. And the ears will face towards, what they're trying to look at. You can have one ear looking at one direction, the other one in another direction. That's from actually, I learned that from Temple Grandin. There's a whole movie on her. It's really good. So look her up, Temple Grandin. I've mentioned her before. Asperger's and all kinds of stuff. Temple, like the temple, and then Grandin, Grandin. Temple Grandin. Good movie. Document. It's a fictionary. It's a movie documentary. There's a name for that. I'm not gonna bust my brain on that right now. I'm trying to focus on this. I'll probably pop into my head. All right, we're gonna work on the muzzle, and the nose. I'm gonna bring it down. Just focus on that area. That's the other area, secondary to the eye and tertiary to the ears. Well, yeah, the ears are tertiary. The nose and the muzzle here is secondary. I can kind of sketch it in. I mean, I can say it's going to fit in here. See, I can do it really lightly and then build up on it. So I know it's going to come down here, and that kind of helps. I can see it's going to go in here to 7, and I can see it's going to come down here. It's really down into 8 and 9, especially 8. 8, it's inside 8. Oops. Let me zoom in, zoom out a little bit. What are you talking about? Right here, 8. 8, right in 8. And it's above the middle. It's slightly above the middle, but it takes up that 8. That's the lopex. That's I just made up a word. The apex is the highest point. And the lowest point, whatever that's called. I'm sure there's a my life. No, I'm just kidding. The lowest point it's right about there. And then it goes in here. Just comes in a little bit actually on number 9. So then the top lip, that's the bottom, the top lip comes up in number 9 in here. In number 9, 8, 8 up here. Actually, I like putting letters and numbers because then numbers and numbers is kind of confusing, can be confusing. So, like it is right now. So this one is 8 and 9. There's a slight angle on it. Let me see how much of it. There's like a lot of little ins and outs, but it's kind of like going at that slight angle. And then it kind of comes up and then it goes up there. Let me see. How's it? I'm looking on my screen. Really need the 6. 6. Oh yeah, there it is. 6. So it's this. Okay, the 6 to the 6. Oh yeah, this whole area. 6 to the 6. Yeah, I can see it. All right, good. All right, I'm just gonna work on it. I'm gonna go with it really quickly. Starting with actually that white, that whole white. That's really cool. I don't kind. There's a special. There's a name for this kind of horse. I'm sure somebody knows. But this white part on the front goes right in here under 5 and 7. 5 and 7. This is 5 and 7, or 7 and 5. See, that's why it's confusing. It's 7. Shall we go with first? It's yeah, it would be 5, 7, right? No, first it's 7, then 5. Horizontal, then vertical. Your coordinates, dude. All right, so 7, 5. This is 7, 5. But even Battleship has letters and numbers, I think. 7, 5 kind of comes in a little bit. And then a little bit of on 5, 8. This is 5, 8 right here. This is 8. I can see the 8. And then 5, 8. It just cuts in just slightly on that 5, 8. And you can get confused with the numbers and letters. It's happened. And it's like, oh, then you erase, erase, erase. And then you just got to let it go. Right. And if you don't have and if you, that's where it can get frustrating. You can give up. But don't. You just try an easier one. Right. Yeah. Just try to find an easier one and just keep at it till you get it. All right, so the muzzle is in number 6 and 8. 6 and 8. That muzzle fits in there. The muzzle, I think there's a name for it. That whole muzzle fits in here. And the bottom one, and there's a thickness to it, that thickness on the line on the bottom. And then it wraps around on number 6 and 9 up here on this side. That square 6, 9 on that corner. It wraps around and then comes down to 7 right in here as it gets thicker. I mean, I notice because of my observing and practice, I notice little nuances like here, the thickness of this, how it gets thicker, and here it gets thinner, but the thickness of this, right, as it comes around, and then here this, and then drawing ribbons, this is how this comes up around like that. So I can get away with a lot of stuff, and I can do stuff pretty quickly. So if you're going slower, it's okay. You got to find your pace. Don't get, and that's why I don't like Well, that's why I wanted to do the hangouts. We just hang out and just do it at your own pace. And then I just do my work and you do your work and then we can share and discuss and learn from your work. You learn from what you do. You learn from what you do more than me just following. Well, you can if you're watching the video, you can speed it up, slow it down. All right, so this is 6 and 7. 6 and 7. 6 and 7. This is where that bridle or that kind of connects right in here. That part of that goes over and it comes down right here, that little lower half. And then this kind of starts coming up in here. There's a lot of detail and there's a lot of little things that I'm probably getting and I'm not explaining, but just do the best you can to observe and try to see it and try to draw what you see. Like here, how it goes in and out. See, there's a little slight little push in there. And then here, the bridle right in there. And then I'm gonna get that thickness. And then there's a chain in there. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I can kind of fake it. And like just little, it doesn't help you. But yeah, what I'm focusing on is trying to get the form of this part right here. And I can see the top part's a little bit thicker. And then it just comes in just slightly into number 7, right in there. Again, it helps doing it square at a time and seeing it square at a time. I can do it without, I can imagine like just one square at a time, which helps me. But it doesn't help you because you don't see what I see. Do you see what I see? All right. And this is all shaded in here. I can fake it. See, I can just fake it a little bit. Let me focus on, there's some detail in here. The bridle. I'm going to go up in here and focus on some of the detail. And we'll zoom in. We're going to zoom in onto number 5, this column, the 5 column and 4. The 5 and 4 column right in there, the 5 and 4 square. The 5 column, the 4 row. And I'm going to zoom in on that. And if you do it in the wrong square, which I've done and I've seen students do it is kind of like upsetting and frustrating. I'm like, oh my God, I did it in the wrong square. It's like, okay, you can go and erase or you can try it again. But that's why sometimes it helps kind of just going lightly. So, okay, it's going to be here, going to be there, and then looking at it, okay, that looks good, and then going back. Yeah, 'cause if you're not focusing back and forth, that'll happen. But you see, I kind of have this whole nose in here. I kind of know where it's going to kind of go and where it's going to go. All right, so we're looking at 4, 5, or 5 and 4. 5, 4, the one next to the eye. There's a lot of stuff going on there. 5 and 4. And then above it, the 5 and 3 up in here. So the 5 and 3 right here, and it's a little bit further back. See, it's like in that space. And then here, that bridle part attaching itself to there. You see it, it's just 1, 2. That's it. And I can see it. I can already see it. But I can abstract it to those. And there's a lot of detail. See, I see the big shapes, the papa shapes, or the mama shapes, and then now just the baby shapes in there. See, I can see how it all fits. And now I can go back in there. And I can go pretty quickly. I'm actually kind of going slow. I can go faster. And I just don't want to lose people, but you're gonna have to, if I do lose you here, it's not as important. But because we already got the important part. All this stuff is just the detail. It's where the devil lies. The devil's in the details. All right, so there's a little bit of shadow on this side. It's a little bit darker. See, and I'm getting all these little nuances. But then it goes into the shading of the horse. See that whole it's going to be when I go back in here and shade it all. See, this makes this pop because the background is darker, and that's lighter right in there. And then this is the other part of the bridle, and then this part right in there is cut in half. That's cut in half. Just shade it. There's a ring in here. There's a lot of little details. I just can't get all the details. We'll be here all night, and I can't explain it. I can't explain. I can, but we'll be here all night. It's another little. So if you just scribble it in, I'm just getting the feel of it. I'm looking at it and thinking, okay, there, this. I can actually I can go faster, but I don't want to lose you too much. See, I can because I know that's dark, and then all this is going to be shaded, which will make that pop. And going back in there, I know that this is like there's a metal piece on there, maybe darker. There's that little lip, and then I think yeah, the strap does kind of come around into oh, that's what it is. Number 6, 5, 6. Here's number 5, column number 5, and row number 6. Yeah, that's it. It kind of comes down, and this is where that jaw right here. This jaw is important. So I'm trying to get that jaw, that feel of this jaw, and it kind of this shape right here. It looks like I don't even know how many people are here still. Let me see. I might be here by myself. Oh no, I see some people. Oh, 12 of you. All right. Hanging in there, hanging in there. Awesome. Congratulations. You guys get the Willy Wonka prize for hanging in there. I know, like people like Willy Wonka, people fall off one by one till you get the prize. All right, here we go. So this 7 5 7 5 right here. This was 7 5. That's that bottom part of the jaw. That's one that already starts to show, and it goes to about the middle of between 5 and 6, column 5 and 6 on row 7. That should be kind of coming in here like that jaw, and getting that form or that shape right there as it comes in here, and then it cuts into 7. Yeah, this is row 7. And then here's that other bridle part. I can see that kind of that other kind of like the belt part kind of coming down. See, I can see that belt part kind of like, oh, maybe if I bring it up. Oh gosh. All right, cool. This belt part. This belt part coming here. This is with 6 and 7. 6 and 7. That's 6 and 7. 6 and 7. And I can see here this jaw. Maybe I didn't even show it earlier. Because this is 5, column 5, and row 7. This jaw part. So you have to get that feel of that form. That jaw comes in here and then curves in. Getting that feel of that jaw, that form. And that just comes from drawing horses. I've drawn horses and practiced drawing horses. And then this belt piece right there, and it has like a little buckle, which I'm gonna just fake scribble it in. But that buckle's like right in there. I'm not gonna worry about it too much, but I know that the big parts. Okay? And then all this can be shaded. See, I can shade it really quick, and you might not be able to, but that's okay. Just in time. It's okay. Just congratulate yourself that you're taking on a challenge. Know that this is not easy. This is not easy. This is not easy. This is a challenge. This is a challenge. But you're taking on the challenges. You're being the warrior. That's awesome. Okay, so we got that jaw in there. Now we get the muzzle and the nose. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see how it kind of looks like all together. It's how it's coming along. See? Yeah, that looks pretty wild. It's a wild horse. Wild horses. And then all this is going to be shaded. I can like really quickly shade it really quick, and you're like, oh my, amazed, like, oh my gosh. It looks like magic, but it's just skill. It's just practice shading. You can just, on your own, this is a good exercise. Practice shading. Practice, practice, practice. Yep. Yeah, you got to know what your focus is. I can't wait to get those warm-ups out there. That way you can warm up at your own pace and say, okay, well, I'm going to practice. And then just do it as a warm-up. But then you're focusing on what you want to get better at, right? You're drawing something, and then, okay, for a warm-up, I'm going to work on this shading. All right, I'm going to work on the shading. I'm going to shade all this whole area right in here. See, this whole area. I'm just going to just put a shade in it. I'm going to just put a shade in it. It doesn't, I might not get it right, but it's just a slack and get it just, I can go back in here and shade it darker afterwards. This whole part right in here, it's starting to bring it to life a little bit. So, and I can go back in here and put more hair, make it look like hair and stuff, because it is kind of like hair. And there, the mane, and then go back and really see the lights and the darks. I can squint my eyes and see, okay, this needs to go darker, this needs to go lighter. You can see it coming together. Congratulate yourselves. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. You guys are in there, hanging in there. Awesome. We've been at this for since what, 6 o'clock? Six, it's already 3 hours. Can you believe it? Time flies. All right, here we go. Yeah, we're ending up with a tough one. All right, who put this on there? You? You. Yeah, that's what your name is you. All right, let's get that nostril. That nostril is really important. It's an 8, 8, 8, 8. So here's 8, 8, 8, 8. That nostril is going to be really important in 8, 8. So let's go to 8, 8. Let's zoom in a little bit. And that nostril is going to be really important to get the feel of this horse. But don't go really dark. I'm afraid of some of you guys going too dark with your lines. That's values, and that's okay if you do. But if it does, just know that it's value, and that having control of how dark and how light you do your stuff is the next step, right? Don't beat yourself up. Say, oh, it doesn't look right. Okay, so this is almost looks like a comma or like a, what does this look like? It looks like and it does have soft edges and stuff. I am simplifying it. Looks like a water drop kind of thing right in there. That's the shape. And then underneath that, there's like it echoes, kind of like the owl right there. See how things, a little bit of a line that echoes that. And that goes up to that line up there to number 7. Up there to line up to that. Bam, right in there. Yeah, because you have to want to look in there and then break it up a little bit, and really observe and try to draw what you see. Not what, not up to you to think about how accurate you want to get, how much detail, how much you want to look into the soul of this horse and really capture it. Oh my gosh, that's deep. Look into the soul. Somebody wrote that. Oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wrote it down somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, I want to learn to draw because it's something soul. They wrote something about the soul. I'm like, oh, yes. If you have a good purpose, if you have a good reason why, it'll get you through the hard parts. It really will. So I want to draw horses. I love horses. And then it's like, okay, it's all right if it doesn't turn out because I'm going to do it again till I get it. You get it? All right, here we go. So let's finish this mouth. There's this other important part is that mouthpiece. And that mouthpiece is actually inside 7. It's actually right up against here. So I don't know, this line is wrong. So it's way over here. It's way over here against this between the 7 and 8 line, this one right here. It goes up in here and then it goes up. And there's a little bit of a curve right in there. Maybe it's a little bit higher. Looks like this is like right in there. That's that mouthpiece. See that mouthpiece right in there? I'm seeing the shape and shading the shape as it comes down right in there. And then, oh yeah, this line is wrong. It kind of cuts in there. Number 7, 7, 8. Yeah, this bottom of that, it does go up a little bit higher. See, that was wrong. And all these lines are wrong, but I'm go in there and shade it. Yeah, I can shade that in afterwards. Oh, there is a chain. Well, let me shade it now. I'm gonna go shade all this just lightly, really lightly, all in here, because all this is there is a little bit of shade to all this right in here, right in there. And there's that mouth shape, this mouth shape right in here, which is crucial. And then I'll get that to it. And I'm gonna add that chain in there. Let me just add that chain. That chain goes in here, and I don't know. I kind of lost some of the lights in here because it's metal. And then that chain watch this. I'm going to put the chain in. It's going to go right in here. And then I'm just going to scribble like little ovals, like right in there, right on that line. I'm just like there. I'm just getting the feel of it. I'm not shooting for accuracy, but it's that feel. Now, if your ovals are too big, it's not going to look right. If they're too small, it's almost it's like a feel. You gotta feel it and then fake it. Get the feel of it. All right, almost there. And if I need to go a little bit darker with the nostril, I can go darker. See this part right in here goes a little bit darker, and this side maybe a little bit darker in here. As as I'm looking back and forth and darker in here, I can do these little nuances, these little changes that makes a difference. Soften things up. I look back and forth. I compare and contrast. I'm looking, how's it the same? How's it different? And then just keep going with it. Just keep going with it. These are little stains on the tip of the nose. Could be shadows as well. I'm just throwing them in there, softening things up, shading things a little bit, shading this background slightly, trying to get it as smooth as possible. I can even blend it with my finger, but this background should be smooth because it should be different. As I'm shading this, it's okay because this looks like fur, especially if I'm doing it, the horsehair, doing it in a different direction. But the background here, I want it to be dark, so this stands out, contrast. There you go. All right, we'll be going weekly. And if I see you, I see our regulars. It's really cool. Then we can see what you're working on and really hopefully get you to advance a little faster. Because if you're not practicing, some of you guys just practice once a month now, or the more you practice, the more you'll progress. So it's not just waiting. All right, so there's some detail in here in the mouth. I'm going to try to get the bottom of the mouth. So let's go back down to the bottom of the mouth. I was doing some shading, but here, this is the bottom of that top lip. Then you have the bottom lip that kind of comes in from number 9. It comes in right in here, and then it goes around. And I think yeah, it is above the middle. I have it below the middle. I can already see this should probably go up a little higher. You see, I'm looking at the fractions. I can see that this should actually be up a little bit higher, but that's okay. If you're being off just a little bit, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal sometimes. If you can fake it. And then just add some shadows and stuff. And really look, because I'm kind of like looking and seeing how it's kind of like soft and kind of like under there. Get that shape and then soften some stuff up. Make it look blurry. And then the way it goes in and out, it goes in and then its top lip goes out. See, there's that number 9. Number 9, number 9. Man, if you know that reference, I should give prizes. If you know that reference, you are in my class. Number 9, actually before my class. That's an old reference, even before me. Number 9, number 9. It goes back to the Beatles. Number 9, number 9. The Beatles. All right, here we go. There's another part of the chain that goes on there. I'm not gonna add it. I'm not gonna add it. I'm not gonna add it. I'm just softening that up. Actually, it looks pretty good from my point of view. I'm going to probably just that's it. That's it. Yeah, the rest is just shading. The rest is just shading. You can see I can go darker with some of the shading. I know I can go darker in here, build up my darks, and really squint my eyes and see, okay, it needs to go darker in here. I need to get this shape in here. And you do run into the might overwork it, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to overwork it to see that, okay, I overworked it this time. But let's just get this bottom line and then do all the shading. So it's this bottom neckline, the neckline that we need to do. And then I think we're done. All right, so it starts off in five, column five, seven, five, seven. I always want to say you sunk my battleship. Five, seven. It goes from there to there, here to there. So a line is just 2 points. You got to see where it starts and where it stops. See, from there to there, from there to there to the corner. And then it does kind of come down a little bit below the corner, right there, below the corner. So then this is four, two, a little to the quarter right here, this quarter. So you just see the quarter there to there. That helps with the angle. And then this one, three, and that's it. And then everything here is all the neck right in there. See, this is three, and it kind of comes straight down. There's, and then you can actually get the flow of that line and make it all one. Now it's just shading. It's just shading. See, there it is. That's as far back as I can zoom. Let's get the shading in here now. All right, I'm just gonna shade. Now there's hair and stuff and all this detail. I mean, I can go in there and really, but we'll be here all night. I'm just gonna shade it first. See, I'm just going back and forth to shade this area. And maybe just I should sharpen my pencil. But there, nobody got time for that. Oh my gosh, nobody got time for that. This looks like it's a lot of work, but there it is. We got the important parts. Then all this is just shading, which looks like a lot of work. And all this is just shading right there. And then getting in there, and then you can go in there with an eraser and highlight some of those hairs as well. You can go back and forth, you know, and then just getting that feel, that texture, seeing, oh, look at these little hairs, being observant, see, and just throwing those little things in there. Oh, there's a really dark hair right in here, like right in there. Boom, see, I just pushed it a little bit harder, got that dark hair in there, and just really observing, going in there and getting some of that detail. And then knowing value, lights and darks, shading. Look at that. Holy moly. See, I don't know. If you nail the eye and you nail the nose, then it all kind of just falls together. The ears a little bit kind of falls together. But it's better to have the actual original piece. And then there's stuff in the background we can just fake in like scribbles. Like there's a dark line here, dark line over here, scribble. Just like I don't know, I'm trying to get some of those background throwings in there. And then in here, there's this all dark hair area in here too. I can just kind of like throw in there and something else right in there. So just make it look a little more complete. Well, I don't know if you want to do it softer, if you want to put some watercolors to it, and then really take your time and go in there square by square, shoot for accuracy. Because you guys have the original. People who are on YouTube don't see it as clear as having the original. I should have a page for all our resources so you can look at the actual resources. I don't know where this came from. It just says image 2025305. But you get the idea. Helps to have a stump for shading. All right. I think that's it. I don't know. Any questions or anything else I should add, or I can maybe take a break and turn your drawing upside down too. That helps. Get a fresh eye, or looking at it tomorrow, and then turning your drawing upside down as well, and then just really observing and seeing, okay, oh, it needs to be darker here. Squint your eyes, and really working on your observing skills, observational skills. And then drawing a horse, what is that? That's just really a sphere with a cylinder. Look at this really quickly. Cylinder. This is why. And then the eyes right about there. Then an ear. Notice how fast that was. See? This other here. And then the shape of that ear. What took us all night, I did like in a couple seconds. But and then drawing that eye. Practice drawing that eye. See? Like, okay, I'm gonna go back here and just focus on the eye, or get a better picture and that image in there and work on that. Need more shade in other ear. Yeah. Oh yeah. It does need more shade in the other ear. Yeah, that's what You need to trust your trust your judgment. Sometimes like, okay, wait a minute. That's why you squint your eyes and you got to trust your judgment. Don't just go by what I'm doing or saying. You got to learn to trust yourself. And that's build your confidence, your confidence. Got to build your confidence. And sometimes, you make a mistake. Oh, I went too light. I went too dark. All right, next time. That's the next time. Then you build your confidence. You're like, oh, okay, next time I'll do this. Next time. But you got to remember, maybe take notes. Okay, next time. Or just, so you have it in your sketchbook. You kind of see it. Oh, yeah, one of the things and I gotta look at my videos. One thing that I kind of stopped doing, I don't know if I do it. I have to check. I can have an AI do an AI check. Okay, how many ums? How many ums? I know my first videos, I was like, now it's just like free flow thought. I should probably think about a little bit more about it. I'm gonna say sometimes I do even just double cross, and I've stopped doing that too, where I go for with one idea and then I don't even finish it and just go to my next idea. I just like a free thought, free flowing, which is good. But if you're trying to understand what I'm saying, like what is he talking about? What does he say? And then I just bring something else. Yeah, my social skills I've been working on. Yeah, I am self-diagnosed. Uh, introvert. Actually, I'm more of a ambivert, but yeah, introvert, but definitely not socially skilled as much as I should be. The social experience, it's all been kind of like, I don't know, top down. All right. You see, and I just did some observing, which maybe it went darker in this spot. You kind of almost have to squint your eyes and do those observings and see where you can go in there and maybe even add a little bit of a shadow under that stir up, just like little things. We got the majority of it. It needs more cowbell. Somebody more shading, more cowbell. All right, all right. I think we'll call it a night. There's 10 of you. I don't know if any more questions or any more. I think we kind of got it. And thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe. We're going to get those subscribing numbers. So if we have 5,000 members, you're welcome. 5,000 members. We got to get, and I don't know. It looks like he is smiling. The incredible Mr. Ed. But I don't know. All that's just detail. You can spend some more time getting it, shooting for accuracy. But that's it for now, just real quick. All right, thank you for coming. We've got the Zoom user out there, a regular, and we have our other regulars. Thanks for coming. Good seeing you. We'll be on Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. That's pretty wild. Thanks for joining us. We'll see ya. Keep sketching. You're welcome.